Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So we officially have the trailer. We officially actually have the trailer for The Ones Who Live, and honestly, it is absolutely incredible. There is a lot to break down here. There is so much to this. It actually revealed a lot of different story elements than I was expecting. So again, we're going to go really in depth in this here and break everything down shot by shot. There's actually a lot to read into here. So if you want more content like this, make sure to be a subscriber. I also want to thank everyone who did join me on Twitch. I will be doing more streams like that on Twitch. I'll be doing Q&As and stuff like that, and we'll do like weekly episode reviews and stuff like that on there. Obviously, I'll still do all that here on the channel. I'm going to be doing everything the same here. It's just I'll be doing extra stuff on there, just like live Q&As and all that. So definitely, if you want to join me on Twitch or go follow me on Twitch, the link is in the description of this video. But again, thank you so much for those that joined. And also, I do want to point out as well that if you are interested in supporting the channel here, I do have memberships here. I do have the join button down below. So if you're interested, if you do choose to, thank you so much. But let's actually get into the breakdown here. So I do just want to say before we get into this here that I was not expecting the trailer to drop today. I was honestly very, very surprised that when I woke up today, that basically within an hour, it was announced that the trailer was dropping in like 2 hours. I was just like, what? And I had to get ready super fast to do the live stream and to do everything. And I just completely jumped off the couch and just got ready and everything. And it was very surprising, very shocking. I thought we were going to get some sort of like warning, like, okay, 24 hours from now it's coming out, or it should be out this week or something like that. But no, it dropped out of nowhere. I did see that Scott Gimple tweeted something last night, and I was like, okay, so it's coming soon, but probably not today. But literally it came today, and it was just honestly absolutely incredible here. So the trailer opens up with a shot of Michonne, and we hear the voiceover of I'm looking for him, and she actually mentions that she's going north, and she's actually told that you don't want to go north. Like that's just something that you like, just not right now. It's very, very dangerous. And so obviously that is a reference to the Pacific Republic military. And a lot of what we see in the very beginning is a lot of shots of Michonne, traveling north and whatnot. And I think a lot of this is episode 1. And you can tell, first of all, based off of her outfit, it looks like this outfit here that she has is the outfit that she has with the group. And I do think a lot of these shots here with Michonne are all from episode 1, and I think the story or the arc for the first episode in terms of Michonne's part is going to be literally just entirely focused on Michonne and everyone else trying to, I guess, find more stuff about Rick. There's going to be some other stuff that's obviously shown there, but I do think where it's going to end is with her discovering the Pacific Republic military at the very end. So I think there's going to be a lot of just like, we're looking here and all that, we can't find anything, and she starts to like tear up. She's very upset. She can't literally find them, and it's just been so long, this and that. And then I think this final shot here, which we'll talk about more later, but I think this is how episode 1 is probably going to end. She's going to, she's going to know that the Pacific Republic military is there. She's going to have her proof that like Rick is alive. Rick is somewhere, and I think I know where he is. And I think that's how episode 1's going to end. There's going to be a bunch of stuff with Rick too, obviously, but I think in terms of Michonne's side to it, that's exactly where this is going to go here. But we have some really incredible shots here. So we have this one shot of, I was going to say 3 characters, but that looks like a zombie just behind them. And that's actually, if that is a zombie, that's kind of smart because the zombie is just literally pulling that wagon of supplies. And so to me, honestly, that makes a lot of sense because Michonne has done this in the past. If you remember, in season 3 and season 4, she used to have those 2 walkers behind her, and she uses walkers like that to her advantage quite a bit. So this is actually kind of cool. The character on the left here, I believe his name is Nat. I believe from a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that have come out, the interviews and all of that, I believe that his name is Nat, and he's a very interesting character just based off of some of the stuff here that we've seen in the trailer. I thought he was going to be more of a villain. Like, honestly, that's sort of the impression I got, that he was going to be more of a villain or know more about the Pacific Republic military. It doesn't really seem like it. It seems like he's just with Michonne, and so he's going to be a new character that we meet, and yeah, obviously I'm very excited for that. And then we have this really incredible shot here of all of these walkers. So this right here, I believe, is connected to the very last shot of The Walking Dead. So in the very final shot of The Walking Dead, or at least one of the final shots anyways of Rick and Michonne, in terms of Michonne's storyline and everything, we see Michonne sort of running towards a bunch of walkers, and we were kind of all wondering, like, that's weird. Like, why are you doing that? Like, it just kind of seems insane. We all kind of wondered, maybe it's not walkers, maybe it's like a group of people, this and that. It was kind of hard to know what it was, but it seemed like it was walkers. But it seems like this is a continuation of that shot. So this could be in the opening minutes of the show or the first episode. It looks like we're going to get some sort of backstory here. We're going to see a lot of that play out again. And yeah, we have a bunch of walkers here. We see Michonne. She has this really incredible weapon here. I'm not entirely sure what she's doing with it. it, but it makes a really interesting sound. And I'm wondering if they're doing something where they're like leading the walkers around, or if there's like walkers that look like Rick. And so this is a way for her to sort of, I guess, shoot the walker with like this harpoon gun sort of thing and then pull the walker out, right? So maybe there's one here that looks like Rick a little bit, but very interesting shot. Honestly, like when I saw this, I was like, whoa, because first of all, the sound effects to everything too. I was honestly very blown away by that because I wasn't expecting a lot of the sound effects to be that different. So really incredible shot. And especially this one right here. You're probably going to hear me say that a lot in this breakdown because the visuals for this just look crazy, like absolutely insane. So we have Rick here. Obviously, he's just staring at, I believe this is Philadelphia, Pacific Republic military flag right there. And yeah, he's just kind of hanging out and whatever. And what's interesting about this is like, this seems to be a flashback, and it seems like there is a lot of flashback footage. I do think a lot of the shots of Rick wearing the brown leather jacket, or I don't know if it's leather, but whatever it is, I do think it is it's a flashback, because I do think in the end, because we do see at the end, we do see Rick as a Pacific Republic military soldier. I believe it's him anyways. And so I think that is more the current timeline. And I think that's sort of what is going on with Major General Beale and all of that. And I think he's working more closely with him. But I think before that, though, we're going to see a lot of this. And this is Rick, you know, at some point early on. So this is before he threw the boots, before he threw everything on that boat, before he escaped and everything. And I think he's just sitting here, just looking at Philadelphia and just being like, I mean, first of all, I will say, just by looking at this right here, it looks like all the buildings and stuff are kind of like ruined. Like, just literally looking at this, it looks like everything hasn't really been that well taken care of. So I wonder if the walkers and all that are there, or like what exactly is going on, if it maybe is fine. But it just looks like there's a lot of like, maybe it's just what I'm looking at, but it looks like this place is almost in ruins a little bit, but it's kind of hard to say. But obviously where Rick is, though, like you could tell the grass is cut here. It's just like everything is well taken care of, right? And so for Rick, this is just like, you know, it's insane for Rick to actually be in a place like this, because it just feels way too like dreamlike almost, right? So yeah, really incredible shot here. Then we see some more stuff of Rick killing some walkers, and at this point here, it obviously, like, this is a lot of Rick, just like, again, I think this is a lot of flashback stuff, and I think this is Rick killing walkers. There's a scene later on where Major General Beale asks Rick, like, do you want to kill walkers, or basically kill, or do you want to die, kind of thing? And he's like, just look at my face, kind of thing, or look at my eyes and you tell me, right? And I think obviously at this point, he's doing what he has to survive. He's just doing whatever he needs to survive, but he wants, like, his choice to stay alive is his family. And this is so inspirational. The line right here when these shots are playing is, my wife is my choice. So first of all, I just want to point that out, because I know a lot of people say, well, Rick and Michonne weren't married, this and that. I don't really know what, you know, happened or anything like that, but obviously that is his wife. He's referring to her as his wife. To me, they are Rick and Michonne Grimes. Like, it's that simple. But what he says here is, my wife is my choice, my daughter is my choice, and then my life is my choice. And so it's just inspirational, first of all, just the courage and the bravery that he has here. Like, this is my choice. I am going to succeed. I will find them. I'm going to go through everything, literally everything and anything to be with them. And so obviously very inspirational. I will point out, he doesn't say my son is my choice. And I'm not referencing Carl, I'm referencing RJ, because he doesn't know that RJ actually exists. So that's going to be a very, very crazy emotional reveal here in this show. Rick is actually going to find out that he has a son with Michonne. Like, I honestly, that's going to be, everyone I think is going to be crying during that scene. It's going to be way too unreal to see, like, you know, and watching this trailer, that's the one thing that I've noticed too, is like, I can really feel Rick's pain and Michonne's pain. Like, just, you know, them being apart for so long, you can really, you feel it, right? And it's just the trailer. I think the show's going to do a better job of it, but for Rick to not know that he has a son, like, I just feel like, again, I think if you're a family person, you know, and you'll do anything for them. I do think that this show here is like, again, The Walking Dead is really good, or has always been really good at being relatable. Watching this right here, there's a lot of key elements here, and just for the character stuff in general that I think people are going to latch onto immediately. We have this shot right here of Michonne, and she says it's been so long. And that's the thing too, like it has been incredibly long. Like at this point here in the show, I believe it's probably been close to 10 years, right? 10 to, I'll say just like 10 years, because they did a 6-year time jump. And I know over the course of the show, there was like a year and a half that went by or something, 6 to 9 months that went by because there was something during the Whisper arc. There was some time that passed during the Commonwealth arc as well, that eventually it for sure was around 8 years, 8 to 9 years. It was in that range. And then I know the very final episode jumped forward a year. So it's been close to 10 years at this point. And I believe that, you know, and who knows, this show could take place a couple years later. Like I really have no idea. So I do think that, you know, the pain of that, like, first of all, Michonne thought he was dead for so long. And then she found out some stuff like, oh, he could be alive. And so just to know that it's been so long since she has seen him, to just the real, like, just think about that, like 10 years ago, you know, that's 2014, like to know someone that you care about that much is still alive and still out there and you can't find them, like the pain of that. I hope that we do really feel that in the show. And obviously we're seeing that in the show. And again, I mentioned that, like, you can feel that here in the trailer. So really incredible job, first of all, just in terms of the writing to be able to get these scenes like just like on screen. Nat does say your phone, you know what it says? And he translates it, and obviously we knew this, but it says believe a little bit longer. And that alone right there makes Michonne just like the inspiration there. Michonne is just like, okay, I'm going to keep going. You know, like she has that moment where she vents, she needs to like break down and just be like, this is really, really hard kind of thing. But then, you know, when she hears what that translates to, you know, that inspiration from Rick in terms of Rick saying, believe a little bit longer, it just makes her feel a lot better. And she's just like, you know what? Yes, I'm going to find you. Like this is going to happen. And then we have a shot here of Pearl Thorne. And I kind of like this scene. It's kind of hilarious. Like she says to Rick, actually, first of all, I want to say everyone calls Rick Grimes. So everyone at the CRM seems to call him Grimes, which I really like because, I mean, obviously he has a really cool last name. So just in general, like just calling him Grimes, like everyone on the original show called him Rick. So yeah, just kind of a cool change. But she says, you showed me that I can't get away. So that's, I laugh at that because I'm just like, yeah, I mean, again, I guess that could also tell us a little bit there as well. So maybe some of the shots aren't flashbacks and maybe some of the stuff is more current as well. Like maybe we'll see some of that, but maybe some of the shots where he does have that brown jacket on, that is also like current stuff as well. That's also possible because maybe that's why she's saying that, because she's just like, yeah, I mean, I really wanted to escape and I saw that you escaped and now you're back here. And yeah, I'm never going to escape this place. And you just showed me that kind of thing. We have a shot right here and the voiceover here seems to be from a character that we don't actually know anything of. And I'm going based off of the subtitles here from the trailer because the name is, I mean, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that name, but it's a different name. So this is a newer character, but the character says, this is the most powerful military on the planet. We have a shot here of some mountains and all of that. And I just want to say, like, this right here, I don't know what this is related to. Maybe this is them looking for Rick. That's very possible, right? Like right now, Rick has escaped and they're just like, where is he? They're looking everywhere. And this could be a part of literally episode 1. Maybe this is actually connected to Rick and Jadis arriving at the Pacific Republic military base, right? So maybe this is the very opening shot of the entire show where we see Rick actually arrive. And I talked about this in the past where I said, with this show, I want to see shots of helicopters flying in the sky, but from that point of view and sort of following them. A lot of stuff like this where the world feels so much bigger because it feels more cinematic. And in the show, we never got a lot of that. A lot of it was like inside shots of the helicopters, or you would see them landing already, or there would be far shots where the helicopter was just in the air and it was a shot from the ground. You know, a lot of stuff like that where it just felt like, okay, you don't really have that big of a budget. With this show, because of the crazy budget it has, I was like, I want to see stuff like this, literally a shot like this, like a lot of stuff like this, because the world feels so much bigger. It feels way more cinematic. And I mean, I never thought I would see mountains like this, just the visuals of this in general with The Walking Dead. So again, incredible shot. This is probably one of my favorite shots of the entire trailer. And then we have a shot right here of this new character here. And I don't know, like, we don't know anything about this character. Like, he could actually be an actual part of the story. I'm not sure if these characters here are just side characters or what have you, but he could actually be a really important part to the story. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, he's literally in this shot right here, and the voiceover could be him as well. I'm not entirely sure, but just the fact that we have like these CRM outfits here are just literally incredible. First of all, we do have someone in the back here that is wearing the same jacket that Rick has, right? In the same blue jeans. So I'm almost wondering if there's like a sort of rank system. Like you start off killing walkers, and so like you're wearing the brown jacket and all that. Eventually you're a Civic Republic military soldier, and then eventually afterwards, you're like a frontliner, which is how Terry O'Quinn sort of described them, right? Like these troopers right here with the black and red, they are like, there's like a certain amount of people. I think he has like, you know, like a sort of special group of soldiers here that obviously like do a lot of things. Like they're the ones who know a lot of what, you know, a lot of the more the bad things that Major General Beale's doing. And so I wonder if Rick at some point is going to rise in ranks to this point. I think that would be really incredible. I think that would be crazy cool, but we'll have to wait and see where the story goes. I mean, who knows? Is this going to be just one season? I hope it's not. I really hope it's not, because based off of everything that we got here, like it would be so insane for this to just be one season, because I don't know how you're going to tell the whole story here in 6 episodes, just 6 episodes. There's a way to make the first season really, really good, but there's just so much in the world here that you're opening up. Like there's just, I don't want this to just be the end. Like I want to see more from this world. I want to see more of the CRM and more of just what is happening in general. We have this shot right here where we do see Major General Beale talking to, again, I think this is like a special group of soldiers here that obviously like this isn't a part of the military. The military seems to be very massive, but there's a certain amount of soldiers that he has that just like know certain things that are obviously like top secret kind of thing. And I do believe Pearl Thorne is here because we have had teasers where we did see her there, and I think Rick Grimes might actually be in this shot here. So I'm assuming that they eventually do rise in ranks, and they are working closely with Major General Beale. But Beale actually says at one point, "I'm going to ask you a question, Grimes, and look in your eyes or something. Why are you here?" And that is something that like I just find that very interesting, because first of all, he's like, do you want to kill or do you want to die? And like that's an interesting question, because obviously, can Rick even leave? Like, I have so many questions with a lot of that, because like, I mean, it seems like he can't. It seems like they're just like, they're the people who, you know, get captured here can't leave and they're stuck here. So Beale asking like, why are you here? Like maybe it's more of a question of just like, why are you here? Like it's just like more of a life question kind of thing. But I love Rick's response here. He's just like, look in my eyes, sir, you tell me. And just that right there, like the way he says it like, honestly, Rick seems to have some respect for Beale. Like it doesn't seem like they're necessarily like I know Beale is going to be a villain. Like he's going to be a villain overall, but it looks like it's going to be one of those things where it's a lot more complex than that. And I think some of us are going to see some of the good sides to Beale and the Civic Republic and some of the military. There's going to be some good aspects to it where you're like, okay, this makes it a little bit more complex. Obviously, we're overall going to see them as villains, but that's what makes for a great villain, right? So I think that Rick in this scene here, you can see that he does have some respect. Obviously not like, you know, crazy respect for him. There's probably a lot of stuff where he's just like, he thinks that's messed up, this and that, but there is some sort of understanding here of the person. And it's just really incredible to see Andrew Lincoln in this scene just deliver the line, you know, like, you tell me, sir, kind of thing. And just the way that he says it here, it's just like, I really can't wait to see the relationship here between Rick Grimes and Beale. But some really incredible shots here of some more soldiers here, and yeah, just not entirely sure what this is related to right here. Really cool just to see some shots of Beale in general, right? Some more shots of Rick just killing in general, which obviously is always good. But then we have this right here, and this is where I think the story for this show can get really and truly, truly amazing, and can connect to the very beginning of The Walking Dead and really connect everything here and make everything make sense. And honestly, it really makes The Ones Who Live so valuable and so like, you need to watch this. This actually connects to the very beginning of The Walking Dead, and it's not just doing a spinoff for the sake of doing a spinoff. So we have a shot here of these helicopters traveling to, I don't know where this is. I don't know if this is a city. I don't know where this is. This could be just a random place, but it does cut to something else. So first of all, I will say that a lot of what the Civic Republic military are doing, we did learn in World Beyond, where they do wipe out a bunch of communities. We don't know why they do it. You know, there's there's some questions there that I have that obviously we're going to learn in the show. Some of it is cure related because they are trying to find a cure. And sometimes there's, I don't know, there's a lot of random things there where there's mysteries as to why are they doing these things. And we learned a lot of this in World Beyond because they wiped out a community there on that show. And it was always kind of like, why are they doing that? A lot of things like that seemed a little off. I think we're going to learn a lot more about why they're doing that. And I think some of it here we're seeing here. So we see this shot here which again looks absolutely incredible. But it's the next one right here where we do see what seems to be Atlanta. And this seems to be actually a shot literally from season 1 of The Walking Dead. Now, if you remember in season 1 or in season 2 of The Walking Dead, we got a backstory where we saw Shane and Lori reacting to, I guess, the helicopters and the military basically destroying Atlanta, right? And they knew that Rick was there in the hospital. And so they were just upset and they're freaking out because, okay, this means that Rick is dead, right? So this seems to be a season 1 shot of something that happened very early on. At this point, Shane, Lori, everybody, they're looking at Carol. They're all looking and they're reacting to the fact that Atlanta's being destroyed. And so they're like, Rick's dead, right? This is what I find really incredible. They're actually connecting the Pacific Republic military to this storyline. They're saying that the CRM is responsible for this. So it's crazy to think now when you go back to season 1 and 2, seeing all the military stuff, that's the Pacific Republic military, right? Like they're actually the ones doing this and they almost killed Rick then. So it's going to be very interesting to see just really in general how this comes back up, why this makes sense. Just to get some backstory to the CRM is, I think, going to be really incredible to see. But then we have some shots here of Michonne looking for Rick. It looks like she's like in a subway tunnel or something like that. I'm not entirely sure where she is. It could just be a building. More shots of Michonne. She has a new jacket on right here. She's in a different building. And with this jacket that she has on, I'm actually at this point wondering if she's already reunited with Rick. Obviously, they're not going to show us scenes with them together because they're saving that, for the show. But I actually wonder if already at this point, she's actually already run into Rick because it kind of feels like that's what's happening because, again, it's a totally different outfit. She could have got this at the CRM base or something like that. But I do think this is from later on. This is probably from like episode 3 or 4 or something like that. More shots here of Rick. And this, I think, could be after he escaped. So at this point here, it's possible, or maybe this was after he killed walkers, but it's very possible that he just escaped. He was captured and taken back, and so now he's having a meeting with Beale. We have these characters here that they're obviously from Michonne's final episode, so it's really cool to see them back. Just the continuity and everything here is really cool that they're keeping a lot of that. And then we have Jadis, which she really does not show up in the trailer at all. Like she was, this is literally the only shot we have of her, and I thought we would get a lot more of her. I'm pretty sure she's going to play a pretty big role in this series. So then keeping her secret is kind of interesting, but yeah, kind of cool to see Jadis here. I really wonder, just how she's going to play a role in everything in general. Does she become a bigger villain, just overall, or is she going to side with Rick? Like, what's going to happen with her? We have another shot here of Nat and then another one of Michonne. Really cool shot of this walker just being set on fire, which is just insane. Then we have this shot right here of Michonne freaking out and she's screaming, "Get out." So she's telling everybody in the building to get out. Basically everyone just kind of in the area, like we need to leave kind of thing. And we see a helicopter here firing at this building. So first of all, I do believe what is actually happening here. So if you actually look at the building, there's a helicopter already there. There's a CRM logo right there. So I believe because of the Pacific Republic's, secrecy, they value that so much. And so I think because this helicopter is here, they just want to get rid of evidence that, the Pacific Republic military is even here. And so I think that's why they're obviously destroying this helicopter here, because they just want to, get rid of all evidence here. But really incredible shot because the building is actually coming down. And then we see this gas right here that is being shot down onto the streets here. And I believe this was actually something that we saw in World Beyond. And so this is how they get rid of communities. So it's possible that this, again, I talked about this earlier on in the video. I think this is from episode 1. So this is probably how episode 1 is ending, or at least just parts later on, or maybe this is episode 2. I don't know, but it seems like Michonne is going to find out about the CRM because of this attack right here. And obviously she's going to escape here. Who knows if the person that she's with is going to escape. A lot of the characters that she's with in general could just die in this scene here. They could just be with her just for the beginning. But yeah, obviously Michonne at some point will escape. And then we have this really incredible shot right here of a Pacific Republic military soldier. And I know this is Rick Grimes. I already know. Like, just based off of the way the soldier is walking and everything, like it's Rick. Like there's just, it's funny how you can just tell, but I know for a fact that this is Rick Grimes right here. So just to be able to see him in a CRM soldier uniform is just insane. And I think this is more current day stuff. So we're going to see a lot of, again, this trailer focused a lot on the buildup and the setup of the military, what Rick's life has been like in the last however many years, what Michonne's been doing for however long. And they kind of established a lot of story stuff. You know, we're going to see some backstory to the Pacific Republic military, a lot of that here. And I think they set up the show really, really well. And we have this logo right here, which looks really incredible, honestly amazing. But we also have this shot right here at the very end of Michonne, and she's looking up and she smiles. This shot is very similar to one that we got of Rick in the very final episode of The Walking Dead, where we do see Rick looking at the CRM helicopter. And obviously he was captured. But at this point, he knows that he's going to win. Like he just has, you know, faith that he's going to beat this no matter what. He's actually going to beat this, and he's going to find Michonne. He's going to find Judith, and obviously RJ just doesn't know that he exists right now. But this shot here of Michonne, I think, is going to be sort of connected. I think at this point here, she's probably looking at a helicopter, and I think she just discovered the CRM, and she's like, that has to be where he is. And she just has so much hope, and I think she's starting to feel like, I'm going to find him. Like, he's actually there. And that's why I think this is going to be a shot at the end of episode 1, because I think it's going to look like she's losing hope throughout the episode. We're going to see her struggles, and I think this is going to be something that, you know, it's a big moment for her, and she's like, I can find him now. And that's sort of a cliffhanger for the first episode here. And yeah, the show's coming out February 25th, 46 days away as of now. So really, really close. Obviously, they're going to be promoting this a lot now. We finally have the trailer. There's going to be a lot more scenes coming out. There's going to be a lot of new information. So anything like that, all my breakdowns and all that, definitely make sure to hit subscribe. I am so excited for the show. I really can't wait. There's going to be a lot to talk about. I'm going to do some videos later on today and tomorrow and stuff like that on the trailer, talk about very specific story things here. This was more of a general trailer breakdown, just sort of breaking down everything here in general. And yeah, but anyways, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.